Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon for December 17, 2022, with your host, Speedster2448. Wrap it up, Salon, and Tommy Boy.
Hi.
What up?
Don't mind me, as I probably will be spending the first little bit of this trying to make sure I've got everything balanced.
Well, we only get to talk about the Game Awards at the start, so it's fine, especially because we're doing the awards first before the announcements. So, it's not the worst thing to miss out on.
I mean, true.
But before we get to the Game Awards, the Pokemon thing that shocked the world, to say the least. Again, because fucking the Pokemon anime decided to just fucking swerve everybody.
Oh yeah, they're... Sorry, go ahead.
Well, that was the end of it, and a couple other things. Surprisingly, one thing I'm like, this was announced in a blog post? Okay, sure.
Yeah, they've officially announced they're done with Ash, right?
Yes, there's more to it, but yeah. But before any of that, Tommy, do you want to go first for what you've been playing the last couple weeks?
I mean, not really been anything, so
Glock, you got anything then?
Well, I can tell you my wife doesn't seem happy. I had to mute myself. But I mean, I will honestly say he's been in the show since, God, when did the show first start? 1990? 6?
6, I believe. It's 25 years.
Yeah. So, like, I get it. He's been going. He has been going for a very fucking long time, and he just now became a fucking. Didn't he just now become a gym leader?
No. I was mainly asking you what you've been playing the last couple of weeks. We were going to talk about that later.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine.
What were you asking me then?
What you've been playing the last couple of weeks?
High on Life. That's, since it came out, that's been fun. I started up The Witcher 3 after the new update came in, but before that, I was playing, Kingdom Hearts. I started up the original Kingdom Hearts through the 1.5 plus 2.5 final mix. Because,
so the complete rebuild of it. Because they lost the original code.
Which version of it? The PC or
Xbox. I have convinced my wife to try it, so that was the way I was going to be able to convince her to try it, because if I'd gotten it on PC, she does not like getting on my PC for some reason.
So how has the janky Kingdom Hearts been? Because one has some jank to it.
Oh yeah.
I forgot how infuriating that game can be.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say platforming.
Oh my god, the platforming is the worst.
Like I said, the jank. The platforming of KH1 is so goddamn janky. It does not feel right.
Believe me, playing this brings back old memories of playing this as a little kid. I remember back when I used to believe every single one of those bosses were the fucking worst. They are nothing. Those bosses have been nothing so far. The only one that I got infuriated with was I went to the Coliseum and fought Cerberus the first time, and I was massively underleveled. I didn't have scan either, so I didn't know how much health he had, so I'm just sitting there for like an hour in a fight against him and have no idea what the hell's happening.
I still feel like KH1 Sephiroth is harder than KH2 Sephiroth.
I mean, I feel like I could probably agree with you on that one, seeing as how KH2 Sephiroth is legitimately one of the easier super bosses.
To be fair, it was the only super boss in the original 2.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, I picked it up and started playing it, and oh my god, as much as I love the story, the platforming is the literal worst. I cannot think of a worse. I cannot think of a worse platforming game. I can't.
I don't think I can either. At least nothing comes to mind immediately.
Well, I mean, that's what kind of happens when you take a non-focused on platform game and kind of decide to make it a platformer.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Yeah, 100% agree. Because like, the platforming in one would be fine if the damn what's the word? I guess you could say collision.
Oh, hitboxes on platforms and stuff.
Yes, there is no reason half the time. There is no reason half the time why Sora can't grab that fucking ledge when he's halfway up it.
Well, square peg doesn't fit in round hole.
I also feel like the camera is also doesn't help you for one, because that camera.
So the camera, I ran into the most problems so far on the Tarzan map, on the Tarzan world. That fucking waterfall area was the worst for that camera. Even though it was such a simple thing, it took me so long to fucking platform that thing because of the camera.
I think there's a reason when Tarzan disappeared because of rights issues from every other Kingdom Hearts game going forward, and no one batted a fucking eye at it. Like, legitimately, like, Tarzan did not show up in Chain of Memories, even though it did a revisit of all the Kingdom Hearts 1 worlds. It hasn't showed up in any other recap of any other, like, of anything involving Kingdom Hearts ever since then. And it's because of rights issues, and no one fucking bats an eye at it, because it's just like, oh no, that's fine. Deep Jungle was kind of garbage.
Yeah, it really was. But I mean, you know, the Kingdom Hearts games, I forgot how many there were, and Haley sat there. Haley sat there while I was when I bought the game and it started downloading, and she's like, so this is 1, 2, and 3, and what? And I was like, oh no, honey, this is 1, the 2 games after 1, 2, the 2 games after 2. So you have 6 games there, and she's like, so there's 7 games? No, honey, there's 9.
Here's the thing, too.
With more to come, that's the problem.
Here's the thing, 2 of those games in that collection aren't even games. They are a collection of cutscenes and text boxes.
Yeah.
What is it? It's 358 encoded are all cutscenes and text boxes.
Mm-hmm.
They are not even actually games, because they're like, nah, we're not remaking these in 3D. Fuck that.
Yeah.
We did that once with Chain of Memories as a bonus for Final Mix. We're never doing that again. That's the other reason Chain of Memories isn't fucking a collection of text boxes and cutscenes.
But yeah.
Anything else?
I mean, D&D, but that's because I'm a DM. That's kind of... I have become the forever DM, and I'm crying internally because I can never find any games, any people to let me play.
Let's see. I'm continuing to play Midnight Suns. It's been very good. I've been enjoying it. I know from Skillup's review he is very harsh on the writing of that, but I haven't had too much bad writing, if I'm being honest. Maybe it's because I haven't hit the book club thing, but It might also help that I read through a lot of the dialogue sometimes, just because there is a lot of dialogue at times, and I'm just like, well, I'm just reading this because it's faster than hearing these people talk. but the gameplay is still very good. I'm really enjoying it. The only problem I think I have with the game is the Abbey, and it's just in terms of like searching for materials and stuff. It's too big for that, and I wish there was a way to automate it to be like, I just want to just have a thing that says, here's the bunch of materials we gathered. Like, it's not as much as if you went out and got it yourself, but like, here's the stuff, you're good. Especially because they have chests that respawn.
Playing Gwent again.
Do it.
I've also been playing Gwent again because I've been playing Witcher 3, and you cannot tell me that they are the same game. Sorry, it's just not. No. You get two games in one when you play Witcher 3, and we're not talking about that awful ass redo of Gwent.
Oh, okay.
That is terrible. I'm talking about the real Gwent. Okay, you get 2 games in one when you buy The Witcher 3. You get Gwent and you get The Witcher 3.
I thought you were talking about standalone Gwent, because I'm like, oh right, aren't they ending support of that? And it's just gonna be like just a thing.
There's a reason they're ending support of it. It's because it's ass. It's nothing like the original Gwent.
All right, let's see. Midnight Suns played the new season of Fortnite. The augment stuff is kind of cool. I'm digging it.
Have you enjoyed My Hero Academia? And what else was in it?
Well, the My Hero Academia. Yeah, Geralt is on the season pass, and Doomslayer is on the season pass. So if you pick up the season,
then what does My Hero Academia have to do with it?
My Hero Academia is just in the shop, and it's a special event thing where essentially, is it one for all or all for one? Which one does Deku have?
Deku has one for all.
Okay, you essentially get a one for all, like they call it a Deku smash. It's essentially just big air punch to just take out a building and stuff. If you can pick it up off one of these like All Might crates that drop on the ground.
Gotcha.
And you get like 3 charges of it, and you can't refill them off another like set of it. So you have to burn all 3 charges before you pick up another one. It's kind of like when they had the Kamehameha for when they had Dragon Ball stuff in the shop, like a couple seasons ago. It's like same concept, except I think it's a better, because I think it's less charged than the Kamehameha, and I think it hits harder. No, it has a bigger hit area of effect than the Kamehameha. But I think it does the same amount of damage. Like, you can one-shot people with it if you hit them from, like, full health. But you kind of hear someone charging you up because you hear Deku scream from, like, a mile away. You're kind of like, okay, where? Exactly like a Kamehameha, because you just hear someone just going Kame, just off in the distance. Not even aimed at hear it.
You know that you were screwed when the screen changed colors.
Yeah.
Because that's the point where it's like, too late.
But yeah, they don't do the screen change, or the screen color change for the Deku's punch.
I figured they'd kind of do that for the special stuff to kind of signify that you are about to get wrecked.
I think it's because Deku's punch is louder, so you hear it from farther off. And also, you can probably kill somebody if they are charging it, because I almost killed somebody on stream when they were doing it to me. I was one shot away from getting him.
Well, I mean, the Kamehameha was kind of that same situation there.
Yeah.
Because I seem to recall one of the times we wound up getting took out on stream by it, we almost took both of them out.
What else? Still doing Violet on stream. It has been very enjoyable. I've completed all the badges, and I actually ran into a situation that I saw someone else run into on Twitter where I did it on purpose. I beat the last gym in like the proper order, and then went and beat the other 2 fairly easily. Just because for all the gyms and all the other stuff that's in Violet, it's not level relative, it's level locked. So like the last gym is always going to be, I think, 45 across the board, if I recall correctly. But if you can beat it, then like the other two gyms you haven't beaten, for me at least, were the same levels they always are. But I'm still enjoying it. I'm still liking it. I've tried out Wonder Trade and Pokemon Home for a little bit, for a couple days, to try to get stuff. Nothing. I still haven't gotten anything really, except for like 3 of the Paradox Pokemon from Wonder Trades. But it has made me go, yeah, I still need to get the one new legendary from Arceus, and I should really like figure out how the best to get the other Reggie and the other horse in Sword and Shield. I thought about going through the those legendary raid those legendary raids and stuff, and get a couple more shinies and then throw them in the home and try to trade for it. Because I don't think anyone will pass those up. Maybe. I say maybe. I don't know.
I almost feel like I wouldn't mind hopping in and doing some with you.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for Sword. Yeah.
For Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I knew if the same means that I was using for Sun and Moon to, get other Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I knew if those means were still fine for Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
Because if they were, then I'd be like, sure. Which ones do you need? Right now, though, unfortunately, I am stuck with... I can do that on emulator.
Yeah. I feel like if it passes through enough verification stuff, it should be fine. Like, if it obfuscates it enough, maybe.
We'll see.
But I know
the app that generates it, you can go in there and have it verified. But, much like with the Sun and Moon one, I load my save stuff that has legit only from that game on it, and I've got flags that's acting like it's not legit.
Right.
So that means there's problems with the app.
I was double checking Epic, because they're doing their, I think, 14 days of giveaways of free games. I was curious what today's game was. Costume Quest 2.
I luckily check today, actually.
Yeah, that's the one that's up at the moment. Luckily, I caught the first day of it because it was Bloons Tower Defense 6, and I'm like, yes, please, yoink.
Yeah, I got that one.
Just gotta yoink that, do a quick session of it. But that is pretty much... Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, I am reading the Kuga manga that's officially released. That is written by a good friend of the show, Toshiki Inoue. Oh, I don't think I'm reading more volumes of this. I'm good. It is the uber violence, uber gore, in a way, writing stuff that I don't care for in writer, so I'm good. I would like Spirits, but I'm not going to buy more volumes of this just to maybe get Spirits one day. I'm not playing that game.
I mean, fair.
But shall we get the news then? I guess since Doc was talking about it, should we do the Pokemon one first? Since we you and me talked about it the other day.
I mean, if you do that, then it's gonna throw everything out of order too, so your call.
Oh, my bad. We'll come back around to it. We'll do because the awards things won't take long. well, winners won't take
I
long.
mean,
I don't know how
they never take long.
Yeah, I don't know how about the reveals and stuff, but
It still
award
probably
winner.
won't take long.
Yeah. All right, so Game Awards happened these last couple weeks. We got winners, more or less. Elden Ring took home top prize, plus best role-playing game, best game direction, and best art direction. God of War took home 6 awards. Narrative score, score, music, art and design, performance, action, adventure, and innovation and accessibility. 14 and Stray got 2 each. Horizon Forbidden West got nothing. Arcane ended up winning Best Adaptation in a fairly stacked category. I think that was like the best stacked category of the event, was Best Adaptation. I don't know if you've seen who got nominated for what, Glock, for Game Awards.
Yeah, I liked Arcane, but I was honestly rooting for Cyberpunk. I thought Edge Runners should have taken honesty.
Yeah, I think it was still packed because you had those two, Sonic,
and you had
the Uncharted movie,
yeah,
and Cuphead. The Cuphead show.
I'm sorry, the Uncharted movie was the one that I was like, why is this here?
Gotta fill out that roster.
It was there for filler because we had a couple of categories that had a very obvious "you're here for filler."
Yep.
Hi, Sifu in fighting game category.
Wasn't Sifu a fighting game though? I heard it was actually a really good game.
No, it's an action game. It's not a fighting game. It's an action game.
Okay, well, yeah.
It's more like a Souls game.
Okay. All right.
But it has no multiplayer at all. It is straight single player.
Okay.
But it's
I don't know why it was. No.
So it was more of a beat 'em up than a fighting game.
Right, but it's a beat 'em up that has a very Souls-like progression.
Okay.
I mean,
well, a limited Souls progression because you cannot go forever. You can't die forever.
I mean, I think right there you just explained how someone in their right mind actually thought that it was a fighting game.
Yeah.
If it's a beat 'em up. Beat 'em up, you do that when you fight, right? Must be fighting game. You've never touched the game, have you?
Surprisingly, because Sifu is one of those games that people wouldn't stop talking about when it came out.
Yeah.
Some other highlights from winners. I'm just gonna get on my soapbox again real quick look, God of War Ragnarok won Best Narrative and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 fucking didn't. Actually, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 didn't win fucking anything, even though it fucking should have. Fuck right off, the lot of you.
At least a mobile game actually won Best Mobile.
Snap is fucking awesome, though. That is an amazing game.
Because that's the thing when we were talking about the nominations. There was a couple in there that was not designed mobile first. So it's kind of good to see that the game that was designed mobile first actually took that one.
Yeah, it is very good. I was playing it for pre-show earlier. I've done it pre-show several times now.
I kind of was doing it for a while there, and then I got a little bit bored of it because when you start winning more than you have any kind of challenge, you tend to just be like, eh.
Yeah, once you've got a deck that does really good 90% of the time, it's just like, well, I want to play to get my challenges in, and then I'm not going to play for a couple days.
I'm using a slightly modified base deck. Like the one they hand you at the beginning of the game base deck.
I'm running more or less a Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur deck with an option into Black Panther if necessary.
I will get the random thought in my head of, maybe I should try to build my own deck. And then I'll sit there and be thinking, wait a minute, no, this one's got so much synergy right now, no. I'm good with it.
I've built another deck that is a discard draw deck for challenges when I need to discard and destroy cards. But that's all I've really done in terms of building another deck. Also, thank God they are working on a a widescreen display option for that game for PC. Thank you. I appreciate that. Having to jerry-rig a display for that game on stream because it does not look good just capturing the window.
I mean, but now all the streamers are gonna have to redo everything.
I mean, that's fine. I have to capture Snap 3 times over to display everything in like a decent way.
And you still don't have the one thing that everyone else I've seen do Snap have.
Oh, the advantage indicator.
No, the deck layout on the side.
Oh yeah, I don't have that. I don't care about that. I didn't realize there was an advantage indicator with the nameplates until someone said that on a stream, and I was like, "Wait, that's a thing?" Because I've never paid attention to that.
I didn't either until I saw it on the stream, and I'm like, "Wait, oh." Okay.
Yeah, I think Ty mentioned it when he was capturing the game and stuff for his stream, because he had that part captured. And I'm like, wait, why is that captured? And he explained it, and I'm like, that's a thing in this game? I don't think the game ever told me that.
I mean, the game's not going to give you all of its secrets.
That's kind of important because it determines who reveals first on a turn.
Yeah, but it's not going to give you all the secrets.
Right.
It's random who gets to turn first. I love how that's actually how the game makes you think, because it fails to tell you that.
Mm-hmm. Back in the awards, 14 continues to win ongoing game and community support. Fucking good. That game's wonderful and has a great community behind it. It fucking should. I feel like it's the only like technically live service game, even though it's really an MMO, so it should not have that title as stapled to it at all, because that is a bad name these days.
I actually forgot what all was in the best family category, not gonna lie.
What one? It was 90% Nintendo games and Lego Star Wars.
Yeah, but I don't remember what the other one Nintendo games were.
I'm pretty sure it was the Splatoon, Rabbids, Kirby, and I think Arceus.
Then I could completely see Kirby taking that single-handedly.
Yeah. Best indie and best debut indie went to Stray. It's a shame it didn't go to Vampire Survivors. That game is fucking wonderful. It has DLC now for like $1 and change.
Yeah, but Cat.
Also, I didn't I wish I saved the tweet of like, hey, the DLC for Vampire Survivors comes with one map, which is like, oh, that doesn't sound that surprising, until I forget. I want to say it was someone on the dev team tweeted, here's a picture of like our normal maps. Here's a picture of the map from the DLC, and it's like 20 times the size of a normal map for Vampire Survivors. It's like, oh, that's why it's one map, because it's fucking enormous. That makes sense. Multiplayer went to Splatoon 3, anticipated went to Tears of the Kingdom. All the content creator esports award thingamahoochits.
That we don't really care about.
Yeah, I have no idea who the fucking these people are. Player voice went to Genshin Impact. Hooray! I guess, for people who like Genshin. So, any other thoughts on winners, snubs, anything in between?
Nah.
I'd like to rant about Game of the Year.
What specifically about Game of the Year? Game of the Year had you
I'm
upset?
so fucking sick of hearing about Elden Ring. It's the same shit rehashed every single damn game. Go back to Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne. They're all the same goddamn game.
But it's the Souls of Souls games. We have to award it something.
I mean,
no.
I mean, Elden Souls has to win.
Telling a story, it is just as ass at telling a story as every other Souls game has been, and it won Game of the Year. Okay, I know you have your problem with fucking with God of War Ragnarok, but there is no reason Ragnarok should not have won that. None.
I mean, I'm like, if you ask me, I'm upset that, you know, Elden Ring was nominated for Best Narrative and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 fucking wasn't.
I agree, because Elden Ring's narrative is ass.
I also love that.
Go ahead.
I also love that I saw on Twitter that Skill Up is now playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and is really fucking enjoying it, and I'm like, do you see? This is why Xenoblade 3 didn't get any nominations, because none of you fuckers fucking played it until now.
I am of the mindset that if you are nominated for Game of the Year, or even if we go back to just the best narrative, you need to have a goddamn narrative I can follow. You need to have an actual story going on other than me having to figure the fucking game out just based off of fucking context clues.
No, there's reading as well. There's a lot of reading in Elden Ring.
That's the whole fucking reason Destiny could never be nominated for a fucking narrative game.
I mean,
the exact same fucking problem.
I mean, that does tend to happen a lot in open world games. It is hard.
Though.
It is hard for a lot of developers to actually make a cohesive story in an open world game. Nintendo even dropped the ball with Breath of the Wild, truthfully.
Let me just point you as a single response to that. Let me just point you directly to Witcher 3.
Did I say impossible?
No, but I'm saying CD Projekt Red at the time that Witcher 3 came out wasn't even a AAA company. They weren't even considered a AAA company yet. They came out with one of the best AAA games of this generation. Like, how does a man come up with 5 fucking games, and none of them have a story that is more than you walking around trying to figure out, oh, I got 2 souls from this one body. She must have been pregnant. How the fuck is that a story?
Well, I just chop it up to the industry as a whole as an obsession with Souls games. So, yeah.
There is a Souls-like game that I actually really fucking enjoyed. You know what it was? Fucking Lords of the Fallen. Because it actually had a story!
Yeah. Well, shall we get to reveals then?
I guess so.
I'm sorry. I needed to rant a little bit because I'm so sick of hearing about Souls games.
That's fine. I don't care for Souls games either, so I'm just like, the one game that I'm like, this should get nominated, because I'll say again, that the end of Chapter 5 and the Chapter 6 of Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is a fucking moment and a half as a player, and fuck, it should have got nominated for that alone, but fucking no. JRPG, no, don't wanna. But reveals and premieres, we'll run through these and we can talk about them as we go, I guess. FF16 got a new trailer showing off more of its gameplay and stuff. I don't think anything was really new here besides, hey, it's FF16. It looks
still
good.
Incredibly bitter about the fucking PlayStation exclusivity.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just going back to almost their roots.
I understand, but at the same time, fuck them, because 15 proved that pretty much any Final Fantasy game that has been released on Xbox has done well. Like, I can't stress this enough. The exclusivity is doing nothing but fucking hindering them. Fuck them.
But if you think about it, while that may be true with 15, Final Fantasy as a franchise has had better luck out of Sony platform. I kinda can't get mad about them being like, yeah, we're gonna do that.
Plus, Sony really needs you to pick up a PlayStation 5, please. Please.
No, fuck Sony.
I mean, to be fair, between the new Xbox and the new PS, I'd be more leaning to buy a PS for the simple fact of Microsoft and their if it plays on an Xbox, it plays on Windows mentality.
Yeah, I have Game Pass. I don't really need to have a box.
I mean, with that mentality, I have an Xbox. It's called my computer.
Yeah.
I mean, I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, I really feel like that's just more of a reason to consider Xbox over PlayStation, because PlayStation has straight up said fuck everybody else. Like, in all honesty, it feels like their marketing is just failing compared to Microsoft. And Nintendo's off in its own fucking world. It doesn't even matter anymore. Anyone who loves Nintendo is going to get a Nintendo. That's just how it is. Like,
Sony's not sitting in a weird spot like you're thinking. It's more so that they're sitting in an outdated spot.
Yeah.
They're trying to hold on to what was going on with the PS1 era, which there's another company that no longer makes consoles that did the same thing.
Yeah.
Are we talking about Atari or Sega?
Sega. You know, the one that's still relevant.
I mean, Atari did the same thing.
I said still relevant.
Okay, fair.
I'm not gonna say still good, still relevant.
Okay, in all fairness, that new Sonic game apparently has been pretty good.
That depends on who you ask, I feel like, because I have heard opinions going both ways on that game now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I am gonna throw this one out there. I saw Gerard's review of it, so I know I don't have experience with the game. Mm-hmm. But it's a 3D Sonic. Of course there's gonna be people that hate it and people that like it. Mm-hmm. That's just the nature of a 3D Sonic game.
Well, I think the people going the other direction on it that I've heard are just the open world stuff feels a little undercooked and it's a little too much.
That I've heard a lot, actually.
Down. Yeah. That's the kind of the main problem I've heard from Frontiers is just this game needs to get rid of some of its fat because it's too much padding and too much between like the good stuff of the game.
And I can see that. Because it kind of gets back to what I was saying about, as far as narrative-wise, Breath of the Wild kind of was Nintendo dropping the ball. Yeah. They had too much Hyrule and not enough story. And while it worked, they could have made it better. And I think that's where everyone's sitting with Frontiers. I think once the dust settles and everyone kind of takes a step back, forgets about the game, and then comes back to it with blind eyes, they're going to be like, yeah, there was potential for better here. They just didn't hit it for some reason.
Yeah. And on Glock's point about the platforms and all that, I had my end-of-year numbers for at least Sony and Nintendo. I don't have a Steam, Game Pass, PC, Epic numbers because those three don't do those, which makes me sad. But my PC number, or my Sony numbers, was 29 hours total played this year, 26 of which was 13 Sentinels to completion. I believe the other 3 hours was just me mucking about with Cyber Sleuth, filling out the decks and stuff and that. Would you care to guess my hours for Nintendo?
I can't even begin to guess. So
I'd say give me a number, and I will say whether it is higher or lower.
236.
Higher.
Holy fuck.
Jeez.
My
370.
Lower.
Oh, okay.
Do you have a guess, Tommy?
Nope. After that first one and you said higher, I'm like, okay then. Nope, I'm just gonna sit out.
I had to total this because it doesn't give me a proper total. I had to total it off all the games I had listed, so this is kind of an approximate number. 272 total across 14 games.
Jeez.
Damn.
That is almost 60 hours in Xenoblade Chronicles 3, 40 hours in Tokyo Mirage Sessions, 35 hours in Pokemon Legends Arceus. Let me pull it up. I can give you the rest of the numbers. Because luckily, you can order it by months or by hours. So 1 second. Let's see. 34 hours of Splatoon 3, 32 hours of Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, 23 hours of Xenoblade Chronicles 1, 20 hours of the N64 emulator, 14 hours of Violet, 5 hours of Ultra Kaiju Monster Rancher, 5 hours of Mario plus Rabbids, 4 hours of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That's another thing I forgot to mention. I was playing that, and the best thing in the world they added with the update with the new maps. I don't know if either one of you know about it. Custom item loadouts.
Oh.
You can choose as few or as many items as you want for like multiplayer lobbies and races in general. So if you want all blue shells, you can do that.
Oh.
Even better, the Infinity 8 that gives you 8 items. If you turn that on and you only have 1 item, guess what you get? You get 8 of that item.
Oh.
So if you turn on blue shells and that Infinite 8, congratulations. If you hit that Infinite 8, you have 8 blue shells on you now.
Oh, Jesus.
For no reason, mind you, because there is, like, you have iframes after you get hit by a blue shell the first time, but still. It is kind of nuts. But anyway, let's see. 2 hours of Pokemon Sword, an hour of Pokemon Home, and 34 minutes of the Climax Fighters Geo for Rider Chronicle month I did, or Rider Chronicle stuff I did. So yeah, that's a lot.
You know what's immensely funny?
What?
I have apparently not played my Switch as much as I thought. My most played game was Splatoon 3. And we all know how long that's been, kind of deal.
Yeah. And I feel like my Game Pass numbers, my Steam numbers, and my Epic numbers will probably be something. I don't know if it'd be like 300 hours, but I know they're going to be up there. Because I know for my Game Pass hours, that's all of Yakuza Like a Dragon. Just about. This year. And the times I've played Halo Infinite, and all the times I've played Vampire Survivors. So that's definitely up there. Because I play Vampire Survivors on Game Pass. And I've put a lot of time in the game into Vampire Survivors.
Vampire Survivors is very fun.
It's wonderful. I can't wait for the DLC. They figure out a way to get the DLC on the Game Pass and stuff so I can play the DLC. Because the DLC is only on Steam at the moment. They're figuring out a way to get to like Xbox app and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, anywho, back to reveals. The one that popped everybody, well, one of the twos that popped everybody, FromSoft is returning to Armored Core with Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. I have no experience with Armored Core, so
I don't know how I feel about this.
I feel nothing. Because I have no experience with Armored Core, and also it was a CG trailer, so Eh.
I mean, fair.
Armored Core has always been awesome. It's so fun piloting a mech and just destroying other mechs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it almost makes me wonder. A lot of the hype around mech stuff has kind of trailed back off again.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes me wonder if it's gonna do as good kind of deal, or if it's gonna just have to hope that the nostalgia train's enough.
I don't know, because the last Armored Core game that we got was back in like 2012 with 5, I believe.
I think there's another version of 5 that may have came out later, but yeah.
So like, that's a good gap for an Armored Core game. I feel like the nostalgia is gonna be enough for it to at least take off.
I think also people are gonna see that this is from FromSoft, that are gonna be like, "Ooh, FromSoft game, yes, please."
I just hope
but
like
it's not
hell
a Souls
that it's
game.
not.
Exactly.
That's what I'm hoping, is that it's not a fucking Souls game.
It's not. I forget who on the dev team confirmed in the interview that it's not a Souls game. It is proper Armored Core gameplay and stuff.
Because I will say FromSoft is the ones that made it originally. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping. Hopefully it won't fuck up, because I have had enough of FromSoft in these last few years.
Enough of them dictating the direction of the industry as a whole.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say 5 games? I meant 6, because fuck Demon Souls 2.
You forgot about the one that they made Bloodborne for. Because oops, we can't make Demon Souls anymore.
Just
bad
games.
But yeah, that's slated for next year. Also, FF16 is slated for June of next year, which apparently is going to be packed. I think like half the big announcements from Game Awards were slated for June.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Hades 2 was announced, slated for next year. We're playing as, I don't remember his name, but his sister. And apparently, I guess we're going to go rescue Dad real quick. Because, oops, a bad thing happened. We're going to have to go rescue him. It looks very good. It makes me want to pick up Hades 1 at some point, because I've heard nothing but good things about Hades.
Hades was a really fun game. My only problem is I suck at the top-down...
isometric gameplay.
Yeah, I suck at those games. I wish I was better, but I really do suck at those games. But I remember playing Hades and really loving it. I just could never beat it.
Yeah. Kevin Levine of BioShock fame, his new studio, revealed Judas. It's a CG trailer. It certainly has the BioShock stuff.
It looks like BioShock.
I can't make BioShock games anymore. Here's me doing a BioShock game-ish, kind of. Don't worry about it.
I'm so stoked for it too. I hope this is gonna be good, because it looks so good.
UPS Simulator 2 was announced.
Oh,
Via Hideo Kojima.
Yeah.
It is certainly a game that I'm like, I didn't care about the first one. I really didn't care that they announced the first one had a director's cut.
I swear he announced he was working on a new IP, not a sequel.
He's apparently still going to announce that at some point. I think he said in an interview recently.
So he is still working on a new IP?
Yes.
Okay. I thought that maybe I misunderstood and that was his new game. And I was going to be kind of disappointed because I never played Death Stranding. So I don't really know.
It is a USPS simulator.
Yeah, I know, but like I want a Hideo Kojima game that I can jump into, because at this point, there's no way in hell I'm jumping into Metal Gear Solid. There is fucking way too much.
I mean, you could jump into Death Stranding and go deliver the mail.
But I don't want to, because everything I've heard about that game sounds boring as fuck.
It has all the same writing problems as like 5, or no, more 4 from my experience, like watching a full playthrough of it. Also, it has the line Mario in Princess Peach, and I know
It has a what?
it has a legitimate line that one of the characters says is Mario in Princess Peach. That is a legitimate line of dialogue in that game.
Okay. Okay.
I am not going to give you context for that. You have to go fucking look it up yourself.
Okay. But I mean, you know, I like Hideo Kojima. I like the games that he's come out with. I was super stoked for Silent Hills. I thought that was going to be fucking dope. And then all that shit happened. So that's never happening, sadly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want a game that I can jump into because I am far, far too behind on the Metal Gear Solid. There's too much story for that. My head will burst.
Well, here's the thing. Play 3 and then only play 3.
Okay.
It is a prequel to everything, and it's just on its own. Do you like James Bond stuff and some James Bond nods? That's 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. It literally has a James Bond style opening. Because have you ever heard Snake Eater?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the opening theme for MGS3.
Sweet.
It also is like the best gameplay, like traditional Metal Gear Solid gameplay before they did a lot more action stuff for 4, and then 5, which is very good gameplay wise, but oh boy, is it a mess of a story. So just play 3. It's fine. Just play 3. Speaking of Cyberpunk from earlier, its expansion Phantom Liberty got shown off. Idris Elba is joining the cast as Solomon Reed.
I'm curious of whether or not I'm going to have to replay Cyberpunk to be able to play this expansion the same way that I had to replay Witcher 3 to play through the expansions on it, because that's going to kind of suck.
I would hope not.
I would like to be able to take my end game V and just go directly into the expansion.
Jedi Survivor was shown off after kind of being leaked ahead of time for some of this content. It's coming out in March. Yeah, Cyberpunk doesn't have a release date, and Death Stranding 2 doesn't have a release date yet.
Cyberpunk has a release year.
Yeah, it has sometime next year, but nothing more specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jedi Survivor looks cool. I still need to play the first one.
I need to finish the first one. I got decently far in it, but I just got burned out on it because there's so much there.
Diablo 4 had a cutscene. Moving on.
So can I say something about Diablo real quick before we move on that I'm concerned about?
What?
From everything I'm understanding, they are taking the things that they learned with Immortal and putting it into Diablo, which terrifies me.
Yeah.
Because they learned, tell me if I am wrong, but at this point, I'm pretty sure they have learned it doesn't matter what price tag they put on something, people will pay for it.
Yeah. Anywho, Street Fighter 6 had a trailer showing off PJ, Manon, Marissa, and JP. I know people were very on board with Manon because big, huge gladiator lady that will fucking just wreck your ass. Yeah, that sounds. A couple people I follow were really into Manon because, like I said, big gladiator lady that is just all muscle, just ready to throw your ass into oblivion. Not even as a grappler, because Marissa, the ballerina, is the one that's the grappler. Manon is, I don't think she's a rushdown, but I forget what her classification is. As soon as I saw Justice League, showed a cutscene and said that Kevin Conroy will be reprising Batman in this game. That was it. Okay, that's fine. They really haven't shown off this game at all. I've come to realize. Because I was listening to someone talk about this game, and they're like, they have not shown gameplay for this game at all, have they? And it comes out in May, and I'm like, yeah, they showed off gameplay. And then I looked, and I'm like, oh, they did it like once, kind of. That's not good. That's a bad sign.
I just hope it doesn't turn out like Gotham Knights. I haven't gotten the chance to play it, but everything I've read from people that have talked about it has said that it is just not good.
Well, I'm going to point out that that's a different studio. That is not Rocksteady that did Gotham Knights. That was WB Montreal that did Gotham Knights.
Oh. I thought Rocksteady had some hand in Gotham Knights.
No. They did not. It was WB Montreal and only WB Montreal. Rocksteady had nothing to do with Gotham Knights.
Okay, good.
You are not the only person that has said that I have seen, and I'm like, wrong studio.
Well, good. I'm glad for that then.
We had a clip from the Mario movie. It continues to look good outside of Chris Pratt as Mario. Just doesn't work. Not really.
Yeah, not really.
Everyone else in this movie fucking works, especially Peach just showing up with a fucking halberd, just ready to go take on Bowser. I'm just like, fuck yes. Yes, give me more of Peach as a badass. Tekken 8 had stuff shown off. It's Tekken, it's a fighting game. I have nothing. I'm sorry. I'm not a FGC person. I appreciate FGC from the outside looking in, so.
That sucks because there's so many good fighting games. Tekken, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat.
Look, I will play a fighting game if it is, like, at least attached to something I like. Like, I've played both of the Persona fighting games.
Well, you've also played Smash as well. Y'all seem to enjoy Smash, but that, I will honestly say, that is a vastly different style of fighting game.
Exactly. Yep. That's the difference there. I enjoy platform fighters. I probably enjoy more platform fighters if I actually sat down and played any of them. But like, I played the Persona games because I enjoyed the Persona. I would have played the what is it? Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle if they didn't do Ruby's inclusion into that terribly, and I hated it.
Yeah.
It absolutely sucked, and I've never forgiven that game for it. But yeah, I'm not a fighting game person, and I'm okay with that because I can enjoy fighting games from the outside looking in. Horizon Forbidden West had its DLC shown off in a cutscene. Hooray! Oh. Moving on. Crash Team Rumble is a thing that people weren't happy with because it wasn't the Crash thing they were hoping for. Oops.
What Crash thing was everyone hoping for then?
Crash 4 or 5? 5?
5.
Like a new proper Crash Bandicoot game. I was about to say a new Crash Bandicoot game and not a 4v4 multiplayer game. I assume that's what people wanted.
Yeah, but
maybe I'm.
But I mean, we got to roll back the Sony time clock there and remember that, you know, in between is when we got like Crash Bash and Crash Team Racing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 had gameplay shown off. I don't know anything about Warhammer 40k, so this is like so off my radar.
Okay, so I played Space Marine when it first came out. When I saw that trailer for Space Marine 2, that is probably the one game out of everything that I was legitimately hyped for. The original, I will say, the original Space Marine was basically if you took Gears of War, but made it more melee-oriented. Still had the guns, but more melee-oriented. It's so much fucking fun. Oh, and Is there cover? I forget if it's a cover-based shooter or not, but yeah, it
doesn't look like it from the gameplay. It looks more like an action game in all seriousness.
Yeah, it is fucking amazing. At least the first one was. I am so hyped for this. It's gonna be such a good game.
All right. Next up, Celeste creator has Earthblade on their docket next. 2D explore action game. It very much looks like in the vein of Celeste. A lot of very tight precision platforming. So if you really like Celeste, you're probably gonna like this. It also reminded me of Celeste, I think, because I saw a little bit of it. Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost Demon. I like the art style of this game. I think it looks really cool. Like it's a little top-down platformer. It's probably like kind of a more budget title after Bayonetta 3, but I'm like, I like the art style and stuff for it. It looks cool. I like they're leaning really hard into the storybook aesthetic. Also another game that I'm like, I'm sold on this just off art style. Hellboy is getting a game from who's the developer on this? Have they not said the developer for this? I guess not. But Hellboy game, it looked cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the developer for it because Upstream Arcade. Or Upstream Arcade, my bad. Oh, they did West of Dead.
I'll be honest. The one thing that I was disappointed, but not nearly as much as other fans. I was disappointed that there was no Dragon Age at the Game Awards. Especially with us getting closer and closer to a potential release date, it feels like that would have been the perfect time. But that makes me more hopeful that maybe they'll show up at E3.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip through some of these because it's like blah, 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 blah. Forspoken got a demo. It's up. There's a Transformers multiplayer game coming out. I've seen more leaks of that that have been like, oh, this explains the game more than what was explained at the Game Awards.
Wait, it's a multiplayer game?
It seems to be you're playing as Autobots and Decepticons against this Legion enemy.
Huh.
Yeah, because
the trailer made it seem very much like a single player game. But I mean, it was just a trailer.
I think it's supposed to be like a multiplayer action game.
Okay. I mean, you know, if it's good, it's good.
Skip through more stuff. Dead Cells has Castlevania DLC. Valiant Hearts is getting a sequel out of nowhere. Okay.
I'm actually really happy because I thought that the first one was amazing.
Mm-hmm. I was just surprised because I'm like, that's a thing I'm sure no one remembers. Because, damn. Fire Emblem Engage got a DLC trailer detailing its content going forward and stuff. Because that comes out next month. For anyone wondering, that game comes out in less than a month. Ish. Because they just announced that like 3 months ago, or just like, yeah, it's coming out in 3 months. Buy it if you want.
Wait, what's coming out?
Fire Emblem Engage. It comes out in like 3 months. Or it comes out in January. Announced 3 months ago.
So I'll be honest, I want to get into Fire Emblem, but I don't know how to start.
Pick one. They're all standalone except for, what is it? Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn. And
so they are not connected.
No. Only very specific ones are connected, and it's usually connected to the next one in order.
Okay.
It's like Fire Emblem Path of Radiance for the GameCube, it has a sequel in Path of Radiance Radiant Dawn, but those are like the two Fire Emblem games that are next to each other. And then I believe it's the GBA Fire Emblem game. Like stateside, it's just GBA.
I think it is one of the Marth ones.
Yeah, no, that one is that one's Roy and Lynn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I think there's two right there together with them as well.
I think it's one before it that is connected to that one, that it's like the proper Roy game, because Roy was not known stateside. I think those two are connected, but otherwise they're all separate. Like, you can walk in the Fire Emblem Awakening and not know anything. The same with Fates, the same with Three Houses. Hell, even better, Fire Emblem Engage here is just an anniversary game where all the previous protagonists are just spirits and rings that you, like, get, and then you get to get special stat bonuses and stuff, and you get, like, super modes with them. It's really fun, from what I've seen, so I'm gonna really enjoy it.
Okay.
But yeah, no, you can hop into any Fire Emblem you want, as long as if you read up on it and it says it is not a prequel or sequel to a specific one, then don't worry about it.
Kind of about the same as the Zelda games. There's not really a lot of them that tie together either.
Yeah, it's even less, I think, with Zelda, because there's not even shared lore. Like, there is the shared lore of, there is a Fire Emblem in the game, but what the fuck that Fire Emblem is completely different depending on the game. It is more about cohesive gameplay that unites the franchise rather than any story, lore, or anything like that. Because they're all tactics games. But yeah, Among Us has a hide and seek mode, and that's pretty much it for the reveals. Anything else? Anything of note otherwise?
No.
Anything else catch your eye, Glock?
Not really. Like I said, the only thing that really made me excited was definitely Warhammer 2 or Warhammer 40K.
All right. Let's talk the Pokemon thing then. Since you started talking about it, like, start at the top of the show, Glock.
Sorry.
That's fine. So, I guess to lay it out to help you understand what's happening here. So, during the Alolan season, so that was 2 seasons ago, essentially, Ash won the Pokemon League in Alola. It was its first ever champion. So he officially won a Pokemon League for the first time ever.
Right.
Except for the Orange Island League, but we're not counting that in the conversation at the moment.
Well, I mean, he has effectively won probably the 2 easiest ones, so, I mean...
Yeah. And that comes after the Kalos one the season before that, where he got 2nd place. He came up just literally 1 move short. In a really intense battle that he should have fucking won anyway. But I guess that's the story they were telling overall, so I guess that's okay now.
Okay.
So for this current season, or this past season, it was more Ash and the new character Go traveling around the different regions, investigating legendaries and stuff, and kind of having a little bit more of like a grand adventure across different regions instead of being localized to Galar. And for that season, the end of it, they had essentially the Champions of Champions tournament. So all of the Pokemon champions from all the different regions, so that includes Ash, competed against each other in a tournament. Ash won that. He is now literally the champion of champions. It's a different title than that, but that's essentially what he has now. So, like, if you're ever going to call him a Pokemon master, it's now. And let me tell you, that fight scene, you can find it on Twitter and stuff in full because people have posted it. It's like the end of that fight scene, it's insane. Because for the fight scene, it is Ash with his Pikachu in the final part of the fight against Galar's champion Leon and his Charizard. And throughout the fight, you see every past companion of Ash is watching this fight and cheering him on. And in the last, like, part of the fight, Pikachu kind of goes down for a minute, and, like, he gets, like, kind of a vision and stuff of all the different Pokemon that Ash has had, like, telling him to keep going, cheering him on and stuff. And for the final bits of the fight, the original song, mainly in Japanese, mind you, because we don't have this dubbed yet, the original song for the anime is playing. So just imagine this fight with the original song of the show playing for the English version. That's to come, I would assume. And yeah, it's a really intense, really cool fight. So now they're going to end off Ash's journey with an 11-part miniseries that'll focus on him catching up with presumably Misty and Brock and like maybe a bunch of his other Pokemon. We don't know. We don't know what entails this because this got announced Thursday morning for us, essentially. So we have no idea what these 11 episodes will entail. All we know is that this is going to start January 13th in Japan. And then after that is over does the article specify real quick? No. I believe it's June. A brand new Pokemon season will start, and it will not have Ash as the lead. In fact, it seemingly has a female trainer along with a male trainer as the lead, and that's our two trainers here on the thumbnail and stuff for this video. And they will be taking the lead of the Pokemon season. Ash will not be the protagonist of the new season going forward. That'll cover, like, the Paldea stuff. So, this is huge. 25 years after he started, Ash is moving on, and we're going to have a new protagonist. So, how do we feel, folks, on this literal generational, like, change and things?
It just feels very weird. I mean, that's...
Yeah, but at the same time, there's a limit to how many times they can make Ash lose.
Fair.
Well, it kind of feels like we're ending it off now because, like, what more can we do with him? Like, he's literally champion of champions. What does he do now? Go to Paldea, win that league?
I feel like what would be a nice touch is, I mean, technically, like you said, there's not much more that he could go with.
Right.
It would kind of be nice if he filled, like, the professor role. At least for this first season.
Right.
Be like a soft handoff kind of deal.
I will point out...
Then I feel like that would give the proper closing and change of guard at the same time.
Right. I will point out that it seems like the female trainer is the lead on this because I've read, and this was posted on 4chan, so it's rumor essentially, so take your grain of salt. She's the one that seems to be focusing on like Pokemon battling and stuff. The male trainer over here is cook stuff. So again, it seems like the female trainer here, because again, she gets the emphasis in the trailer and stuff, and she is kind of the front one on the thumbnail here, which is the main key art we have for this new season. It seems like she's the lead, and apparently, in the summary I've seen of her character, it says she's from Kanto, but she does not say who her family is, and that only the professor, like the staff of the school and stuff, know who her family is. But she doesn't want to say otherwise, so she has kind of a mystery about who her identity is. And people have pointed out that her little hairpin is the same thing as what's on Ash's hat, like his original hat.
So,
and, you know,
people are kind of thinking this is a soft reboot kind of deal.
People are thinking that she is somehow related to Ash in some capacity. Because also, I think they have the same color eyes. And I've also seen that apparently some people think that she looks like if Ash and Serena were to have a kid, since, you know, they kind of did a whole lot to push Ash and Serena as, you know, love interest in their season.
And then immediately forget about that.
They didn't. Journey's brought it up again.
I mean, yeah. After the entirety of the Of how many seasons? Just the one?
Just the Alolan season.
Yeah.
Just the one.
So, yeah.
But yeah, it just made me think, okay, we know in the context of the games that there is time travel shenanigans, because with the Paradox Pokemon and all that. So she's from Kanto, but doesn't want to say who her family is. What if she's from the future?
That could make sense, and then that could actually, you know, almost tie into exactly what I would like to see out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because how weird would that be? We have a character shrouded in mystery from the future. Yeah. Being related to Ash, who is helping hand off the torch kind of deal.
Right?
Yeah, I could see that all actually working together.
Uh-huh. But yeah, like I said, the summary I read is from 4chan and stuff, so I don't know where it came from anyway. I do know that these two have official names. I forget what they are offhand, but we do know they have official names. So, But I will say this. You got me to watch this new season day one. I'll check it out. Especially because female trainer as lead. I'm on board. Like, so many seasons we've had really standout female characters, and now you're giving the main character reins to one of them. Like, yeah, I'll see how this goes. Anyone else gonna check this out?
Maybe? I don't know.
Possibly.
Okay.
I've kind of not really had an interest in the anime side of things, so yeah.
To be fair, outside of the XYZ anime, I have not watched like a full Pokemon anime. So I went the entirety of the Alolan in the Galar seasons and didn't watch them. So if anything is gonna get, if I'm getting interest, I feel like I'm that says a lot. If it's pulling me in at least. But anything else before we move on?
No.
No, not for me.
All right, the weird thing that was just kind of dropped in a PlayStation blog. We have a time frame for Marvel Spider-Man 2. It is slated for fall of next year. They just dropped this in a blog post talking about upcoming PlayStation games and just said Marvel's Spider-Man's coming out fall next year. Any interest at all?
I mean, yeah.
I don't have a PlayStation, so...
I mean, I'm interested, but apparently this is PS5 exclusive, so I'm like, oh, hey, look! 2 reasons for me to buy a PlayStation 5.
This is PS5 timed exclusive, let's get real.
Well,
yeah.
Sony slowly bringing stuff over.
Yeah, they'll put it on PC, and I'm like, well, I can wait for PC, essentially. Which
Yeah.
sucks, because I'm like, never get to play Ratchet & Clank, because the hell they'll put that on PC.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're being stingy with certain games.
Yeah, that's when we can expect Marvel Spider-Man. Also, did either of you get to check out the new it's not Into the Spider-Verse. The Spider-Verse sequel.
No.
Across Spider-Verse?
Across the Spider-Verse, yes. The new trailer that came out this week.
I haven't seen the trailer, no, but I am excited for it.
Okay, because PS4 Spider-Man and Miles are in the trailer for a hot second. They're in the background.
Neat.
I think Miles might have a new suit. I think. Because it's the same, like, PS4 Spidey suit. I don't think it's the same Miles suit we've seen before. So it might hint that Miles is getting a new suit for the game. Also, PS1 Spider-Man is also in the trailer.
Nice.
But again, like, blink and you miss a cameo because, 1001 Spider-Man in the trailer, so. But next up, Amiibo got announced on Twitter. Hooray! We are getting Sephiroth and Kazuya next month, January 13th. And Pyra and Mithra are already slated for release next year. Japanese folks will be getting them as a 2-pack. I don't know if that same 2-pack is going to come stateside or not, but they are confirmed to be a 2-pack in Japan. So we are one Amiibo away from having the full Smash roster. And the fucking course it's Sora. God damn it! So excited, interested. I assume I'm the only one that cares.
Pretty much, because I'm so far behind on Amiibo, it's pathetic.
Fair. I guess we'll move on, because I'll take Lock Silences. Nope.
Sorry, what?
Interested in Amiibo at all?
Oh, no.
That's what I thought. Update! Yuji Naka has been arrested again!
Who?
The creator of Sonic.
Why?
Insider trading.
Again.
For a Dragon Quest mobile game. The first time. He's been arrested again! This time, insider trading in relation to Final Fantasy VII: The First Soldier. Also, as a reminder, this is the man that made Balan Wonder World for Square.
Oh, Jesus.
So yes, he's now been arrested again for reportedly having purchased 120,000 shares for approximately 144.7 million yen. That's over $1 million. He's also accused of passing the insider information to an acquaintance who also acquired those shares. Investigation is ongoing, so it's unclear whether things will go from here or not. But yes, he has been arrested again for insider trading for a separate mobile game in Square Enix's library. It just won't stop being funny. Last up, like I mentioned, Vampire Survivors has a brand new DLC, Legacy of the Moonspell. It's out on Steam right now. New map, new characters, new weapons. Pretty much it's a whole bunch of new content for Vampire Survivors that just keeps getting content because everything up to this point has been fucking free, and they're like, hey, give us $2 and we'll give you a stupid big map and more stuff. Because, yeah.
As if the maps that are already there aren't stupid big enough.
Hang on. I do mean stupid big. Where is that? It's on Twitter somewhere. Okay, I'll have to describe it to you because I'm going to grab the image real quick. I'm going to have to find the rat chat to put this in. So that Glock can also see this. Let me just put this in the general chat real quick. Like the bar chat. So, you see this map, this picture of the Moonspell map, right?
Where did you put it?
Up in the bar, up in the general chats.
Up in the bar. Okay, hang on one second. Oh, in the bar, not the main event. There we go. Holy fuck.
Okay, so that is the entire Moonspell map. Would you care to guess how big a regular size Vampire Survivors map is?
A quarter of that?
You see that little area, area in the top left corner, like with the lake and stuff, that little mountain area?
Yeah.
It's about the size of that.
But those, Jesus Christ, you would never be able to explore it.
I believe is the point. That is why they're only giving you one map. Because they're like, it's stupid huge and there's a whole bunch of stuff to find in it. That's why we're giving you one map.
But again, you would never be able to explore it.
Oh, that's because one more run. It's like, I gotta explore the map. I gotta find out more.
Jesus.
But yeah, that is how big the Vampire Survivors new DLC map is. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Anything else before we hit releases?
No.
Okay, we've got some stuff to get through. I'm not reading off everything on the last date because fuck that.
It's a no?
Do you see the end of the releases? There is, I don't want to count because it's too many. It's about
I do
4
not
pages.
see the release. I don't have access to it. Or if I do have access to it, I don't know where it is.
Oh, I thought you had access to the Google Drive.
Everyone technically has access to it because it's on the site.
All right. But yeah, it's 4 pages for one day.
Oh, okay.
And that does not include PC. But we'll just skip through the releases. Yo, like Tom said, you can find the full notes on the site and stuff. We'll go to the 19th with Them Fighting Herds Texas DLC for Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4, 5, and Switch. On the 20th, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge is coming out to PlayStation 5. Also, Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion is on PlayStation 4.
Such a good game.
On the 22nd, Valkyrie Profile and Valkyrie Profile Lilith DLC, I believe, for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, respectively.
Okay, real quick, are the Valkyrie games connected, or are they the same thing as like the Fire Emblem? Because like I know you have Valkyrie Chronicles and Valkyrie Chronicles 2.
Valkyrie Chronicles is a Sega thing. Valkyrie Profile, I think, is a Square thing.
Okay.
Yeah, Valkyrie Profile is a Square Enix thing. Chronicles is from Sega. And pretty much, Valkyrie Chronicles 1, 3, and 4 are all taking place at the same time because it's all the same war on different fronts with different groups of characters. 2 is the only one that's a sequel. Also, it's the only one you can play on PSP. So, and 3 never got released stateside. So pretty much, it's either 1 or 4 if you're playing stateside.
Oh, okay.
If you're not trying to play PSP 1. And you can play them on their own, because like I said, it's different fronts of the war, like the same war. Because I think the only time they reference Valkyrie Chronicles 1 is in a DLC that lets you recruit some of the crew from 1. And it's just hey, here's a training mission with these people that are really important and did stuff. What stuff? We have an entire game that tells you that.
Cool.
We'll skip to the 24th with Cat's Puzzle for Switch. And on the 26th, Street Drag Racing Car Simulator 2022 games for Switch, and then Supercar Race on Highway Simulator Ultra Driving Game Poly Experience for Switch. I don't know. It's a mile-long title.
I'm pretty sure I have one of those on PC.
Also on the 29th, Farming Real Simulator Tractor Combined Trucks Farmer Land Game for Switch, and Monster Impossible Truck No Limit Adventure Drive Simulator Sport 3D for Switch. This is just genres that they have thrown in a blender as a game title.
How many more of these games are there?
I think it's just those 4.
Holy shit!
Because now it's the madness that is the 31st, and I don't even know if all these are technically coming out the 31st, because this might just be stuff that's just supposed to come out before the end of the year, and maybe they aren't. Because we've got A Boy and His Blob for PlayStation 4, our Assassin's Creed Valhalla Discovery Tour Viking Age for PS5 and Stadia. That is dead next month, so...
Why?
They're shutting down Stadia.
No. Why are they releasing it for Stadia?
Oh, I have no idea. There. I am scrolling through this. Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis for Android and iOS. You know, that version of Final Fantasy VII for those that desire more Final Fantasy VII in their life. Definitive Edition of GTA Trilogy is coming out to Android and iOS. Lara Croft and the Guardian Light and the Temple of Osiris games are coming out to Switch. Nerf Ultimate Championships for Oculus Quest. Scarlet's second Encore coming out for Xbox One. Star Wars Knights of the Republic Limited Master Edition and Limited Premium Edition for Switch. The Smurfs Mission Villaf for Xbox Series X. And that is pretty much it. It is not a whole lot, folks. If we're at the end of the year, it's all fucking shelf warming stuff, I assume.
Pretty much, yeah.
And that will do it for us, folks. Unfortunately, we have to talk about Hibiki tomorrow.
I thought you liked Hibiki.
Here's the problem.
Here's what we found out.
So apparently, when I originally watched Hibiki, I just binged through it and didn't really pick up on all the problems of the series. So now that we went back through Hibiki for TGSR, which we're into 30, well, during 30...
We're going
30,
to 36 this week?
Yeah, 33 through 36.
Okay.
So everything to the staff change, which was episode 29, took a long-ass time to go somewhere and was kind of boring, but then it got interesting going into episode 29, and then the staff change happened, and guess who's writing the show now? Good friend of the podcast is Shikinaway. And I have never met a character that I have despised faster in quite some time. This jackass of a character that is played by Zeranos' actor from Deno, mind you. 2 years before he gets to play Zeranos, which is a better fucking character than he gets to play here. He's sucks. He's terrible. He brings everybody down. He is an attention-seeking, perfectionist jackass that projects his daddy issues onto our main character. That isn't Hibiki, mind you, because the main character of Hibiki is not Hibiki. It's Asuma. So, yeah. And now the show's centering around him, and it feels like the show is back to where it was starting at, you know, in the boring part of the show, except now it's really bad. Essentially, tomorrow is probably going to be the last week we cover Hibiki and proper before we watch the Seven Onis movie, which is written by Toshiki Inoue and is good. Because the world doesn't make sense anymore. I don't know how the staff change that came in and fucked up the show got the movie right, of all fucking things. It's not how that's supposed to work. But after that, we're doing Transformers Armada because Let's do the dumb dub of a Transformer show that gets characters' names wrong all the time. I'm not kidding, by the way. But that's tomorrow, and between now and then, Thursday I'm doing more Violet. Friday we might continue Majora's Mask. Might.
Y'all should really do, I think it's called Ghost Stories.
Oh fuck, is that the one with the really bad dub?
Fuck yeah, it is, and it's amazing.
I remember that because the Discotheque's putting out a Blu-ray of that with the really bad dub and the regular Japanese audio. But no, they're including the really bad, stupid dub because, of course, we have to include the really bad, stupid dub of this release. People won't buy it otherwise, apparently.
Yeah. The dub is what makes it so amazing. Otherwise, it's your basic. It's a basic ass fucking Supernatural anime. But that dub makes it fucking perfect. What service do you have? Verizon. Like Jesus, it never stops working for you.
And then next Saturday we're doing something. I don't know if Thomas decided or not.
I mean, probably finish up the darker side co-op thing.
Okay. Yeah, because we should be close to done on that. So yeah, it should be Odyssey Darker Side co-op. Us hopefully wrapping that up, unless we run into some problems with Darker Side, because Darker Side probably kill us for an eternity.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Then, so for me, Davi, and Glock, if you like what you're seeing, drop a follow. Really appreciate it. Jumping away that affiliate goal at TGSN on Twitter. Stay updates on life. Next Bitcoin Discord chat because it's also drop by, say hi. See you tomorrow, folks.